All right, I want to do a little bit of review and then tomorrow I'm gonna have you take a small portion of the test over just the first half, and we'll start the second half and do a test over that part later on. But let's go back. Say we have a problem like this. Actions are going to say factor. So what we did is we found the GCF. So we looked at these and said, okay, what's common in all of those? We know there's a 3. Is there a variable in all of them? No. So our GCF is just 3. So what we did is we divided each term by our GCF, and then we put our GCF out in front and put parentheses. So what was 6x squared divided by 3? 2x squared, very good. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And we have our x. And then here, 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay. We can check to see if we're right by, if we distribute, we should come up with this original trinomial. Okay. So for now, if it's same factor, take out that common factor, greatest common factor. Let's do one other one. This one I want to include both the variable and the coefficient. So what would our coefficients be? What's the largest number? 4, and they both have x. Remember, we go with the smallest power. So smallest power is the 1. Divide both by our GCF. Put it out in front. Our 4's cancel. So x squared divided by x to the first. Subtract your powers. 2 minus 1 gives you 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 1 minus 1 leaves us with 0. So that would be our factored form. The other thing, let's go back to a couple of these somewhat quickly. If they say to multiply, remember, we can do it mentally by adding these two numbers based on their signs. So we have 3 plus -2. They're opposite signs, so we would subtract. Thank you. So 3 minus 2 is 1. We get 1x. We could put the 1. We don't have to. The 3 is positive, so it's positive. And then we have 3 times -2 is -6. Okay. Likewise, if we had 2 that were the same number but different signs, again, we could multiply them out. What's 4 minus 4 to give us? 0. So we don't have any x's. 4 times 4 is -16. And then to go backwards with that, we have what's called a difference of squares. So that's a square. This is a perfect square. 2 sets of parentheses. You get x and x. What's the square root of 25? 5 and 5. One of these is plus, one of these is minus. And then from yesterday, we're going to take this both directions. X minus 3 squared is the same as x minus 3 times x minus 3, which we know is x squared. And we have -3 and -3. They're the same sign, so we get -6x. -3 times -3, +9. Okay, so what we did yesterday then is take the same sort of problems, and we want to see, can we write it as, is it a perfect square trinomial? Because we have 2 that are the same, therefore it can be written as a square. The key on all these is, first of all, this has to be a positive. If that's a subtraction, it's not going to work because they would be opposite signs. But is this a square and is this a square? Yes. And then we look at the square root of this is 4. 4 plus 4, or 4 times 2, does that equal 8? So we would x plus 4, x plus 4. Since there are two of them, we could write it as squared. Yeah. So for today, I want us to do 11 questions for the review. I'm going to erase all this. Sorry. So today, in our world, is 10:25, Thursday. Page 240, 4 through 14. So that's from the chapter review tomorrow, which is Friday, 10:26. I want you to do the part of the chapter test. So the first half, page 242, should be 5 to 19. Along with tomorrow, there will be no video. So no video tomorrow. So today's is the chapter review. Part of the chapter review, the first half. Okay, on page 240. Tomorrow, no video, and then part of the chapter test on